car like this. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Adam, and today we finally have the BMW M4. It is a long time coming. It truly should have been the very first car that I reviewed because it is widely used as the benchmark for any sports car. We have it in the beautiful Nordic gray. We have the red interior. We have the gorgeous carbon fiber roof, which if you ever see someone with an M4 with a sunroof, you need to laugh at them for skipping on one of the best options for this car. I'm gonna drive it. I'll tell you what I love about it, tell you what I hate about it. I'll tell you if I think you should get one. Let's hop right in. All right, we're in Sport Plus on every mode possible. Let's do a quick sprint up the canyon. That is what 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds looks like. The car really hugs the road. Brakes are nice and firm. We're in Azusa Canyon, which is about 30 minutes east of Los Angeles. Amazing road. Wow, the car, I mean, this car revs up to 7,500 RPM. This car really likes staying in the higher RPMs, and it makes it hard to drive slow. I've never been big into the M models. I like some BMWs, but I've always leaned a little bit more towards the AMG side. Driving this car, I already can feel my opinion is gonna shift. I know it. I remember driving the C63 AMG so vividly, and I just cannot forget how much of a struggle it was to have the car do what I wanted it to do. I mean, everywhere I went, it felt like the car was fighting to put me in the other direction. And a car on a road like this should not be your enemy. It needs to be your friend. It needs to guide you. That's exactly what this car is doing. Because of the really stiff steering wheels that BMWs come with, especially the M models, I'm in the sports setting, it's even tighter. And what that means is, as I'm taking a turn here, I mean, just by nudging it a little bit, the weight of the tire, the weight of the steering wheel does the rest for me. It wants to direct me in the proper way. It keeps me in my path. That, I mean, the double clutch system is beautiful. It shifts instantly like that, like lightning. And you want to downshift, you want to go faster, it's just 1 second, you're in. You get to your turn, and the car is working with me. The car really is telling me how to do this. It's pushing me in the right direction. As expected, in the lower RPMs, the car has a ton of turbo lag. You can hear it, you can feel it spooling, trying to get going. You know, even if you smash the throttle at 3,000 RPM, it takes quite some time, and you start to question, like, is the car slow? What's going on? But if you're in the right RPM, you're in the right range, and you smash it, the turbo lag is completely gone. This model is called the F82. It replaced the outgoing E92 M3, which, if you remember, is the V8, naturally aspirated, one of the best sounding cars, engine, exhaust that you can imagine. And the worry with this one coming out was, if our now developed and experienced taste buds, we're gonna love the sound of this car because it's a totally different powertrain. This has the 3.0, it's a twin turbo straight 6. Obviously produces a very different sound. The problem I have with the sound is this thing BMW does now with all their new models, because they know the sound is a little bit muted, they artificially insert some of the sound through the speakers, which if you haven't heard it in person, you won't really imagine why I say it makes you kind of uncomfortable driving the car. It's really odd. It's a strange sensation. I mean, you pick it up, but then you question, wait a minute, was that through the speaker? Was it not? It's something I wish I could just rip out and get rid of and just know exactly what's going on. So let's talk interior a little bit. There's a lot of carbon fiber in here. I love that. It looks great, especially with the two-tone red and black interior. I think that's a beautiful touch. The interior, the dash, I know there is a brand new model of this that just came out. Have not had the chance to drive that yet, but it's perfect timing because this is just starting to look outdated. The paddle shifters are attached to the steering wheel, which I love, but one problem with this car, the windshield wiper and the turn signals back here are way too close, and so I'm constantly bumping into those with my fingers. I wish they were just a little bit further back. The seats are bolstered just right. They're just stiff enough. I feel it down here right around my hips. They're keeping me in place. That's the most important part. Once your bottom side starts moving around, you're just all over the road. Let's talk design for a second because I have a lot to say about it. One, I want to say this car managed to do something that very few cars can do. It looks good in every single angle you look at it. Directly head on, the front three-quarter, the rear, I mean up top. There's just not a bad angle on this car, which is very difficult to achieve. So I have to give it to BMW on that. Another thing I have to congratulate BMW on, they were able to give this car just the right amount of support in aerodynamics so that it's not just covered with all these additional carbon fiber pieces everywhere. The car starts to look like you have a bunch of aftermarket parts. The car still looks factory. It still has the DNA of the brand. They've done it very tastefully. I like that. Very difficult to achieve. The color on this car is a custom option through BMW. You can order it with this color. And I must say, I've always loved that very light blue that they offer on this car. And I've seen it with the red interior. It looks gorgeous, but I'm falling in love with this color as well. Normally, I don't do silver or gray. It's just a little bit boring. I think life is too short for gray things. But this car really manages to pull it off. One thing I noticed, as you're in the higher speeds, in the higher gears, the car really starts to show that it's a little bit underpowered. You don't feel the power as much. I will say in the lower gears, it definitely, you feel it like a punch. I mean, here, look. And you could do that while you're turning. The car is a rear-wheel drive, but God, the amount of confidence that car gives you going into a turn with how stiff it is, I mean, that level of confidence will get me in so much trouble with the law. You know, I think this is federally protected land. I probably should get out of here because I've broken multiple federal laws. This car is also used as a rental car. That's why it says no smoking, but don't most BMW drivers vape anyway? I've been driving this thing pretty much all day. I'll give you my conclusion now. I used to think this car is made for the BMW fanboys. In other words, it's made for the people who have had BMWs their whole lives. They're ready for the step up, and it's made to just kind of satisfy everything they've loved about old BMWs and just impress them. No, this is a car everyone can enjoy. You don't have to love BMWs to have fun in this car. The AMG was something that there's a lot of downsides. I mean, the price, of course, we're going to leave that to one side, but driving it too was, you have to truly love that car to put up with the way it drives. It's out of control. That car's a maniac. This car is so sophisticated, it's almost like just jumping another level. You took the AMG, you took that crazy aggressiveness, and you said, all right, let's refine it. Let's make it a proper road car. And it is. And the power it has is so usable. And what that means is you get some of these cars that are so fast that I've driven that, you hit the throttle, you've already broken every law in existence, you're at the end of the street by the time you know it, you don't get a chance to really enjoy the car. This car has the right amount of power. It's just stiff enough where you can drive it every day. It's not going to bother you. But I will say it's aggressive, meaning it wants to go fast. I mean, all day, all the time, I just feel it. You get to a certain RPM and the car is just itching and just saying, come on, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. I mean, I don't need that in my life, but it is an exciting car. The car has a lot of personality. And since I'm looking to buy a new car for myself right now, I will definitely keep an eye out for one of these, probably in a convertible, definitely in the 6-speed manual. I wish I got to drive that. I'm sure it is just next level fun. And with all that said, that wraps up yet another video. I had a blast driving this car. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram at AdamDrivesLA. Until next time, I am out.